Hi, I'm Ashwini. We always keep hearing, give and you'll get it back. And do you really think that's gonna happen? Let's find out what Todd here thinks. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Ashwini.
Very glad to have you back here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You know, we keep hearing, both in East as well as West, that when you contribute, when you give away something, you'll get a lot in return. And there's also one other statement that contradicts saying, when you give, do not expect anything back. and I keep hearing this from sometimes the same people in different circumstances, and it just sounds hypocritical. So what do you think about these statements, or anybody saying, give, you'll get it back, or do not give when you're expecting something back?
I've seen one woman give very generously to a spiritual ritual called fire ceremony. And the idea was that if you give, that you would open yourself up to abundance. Well, she took this to heart and gave quite a lot because she really wanted it to work. And then when the money didn't come, she asked the guru who advocated this, why it didn't come. And he said, oh, well, because you gave the money with an expectation, and that's what interrupted it. So here's both of the things you mentioned in one circumstance. It actually broke this woman's heart. She never trusted him again, for good reason. But the thing is that, if 100 people do such a ceremony, there might be 100 different results. And if a few people seem to have good results, then this becomes, see, it works. And that the people it's not working for them, they're somehow doing it wrong. And what I think that this really rests on is mistaking good circumstances for wisdom. It's really easy to endow people and beliefs with qualities they don't actually possess. In America, spirituality is sold as a means to wealth. It doesn't matter whether it's Christian evangelists saying give and you'll receive as a law of reciprocity, or psychics. But one of the things is usually clear: it involves giving to get more. I would say that there's a large difference between, encouraging people to do their best, to get out of bed and go to work in the morning, or to change their career. There's a whole different thing between, helping people to develop and some metaphysical law of abundance. If someone accepts some belief in abundance and just happens to stumble into wealth or good fortune, very much will seem that it was because of the belief. But the problem with that is if the universe or God or whatever this law entails rewards you for your belief, what does that mean when you're not getting your way? What does it mean when you're experiencing pain? You lose money, you lose people, the circumstances deteriorate, then all of a sudden the spirituality crumbles. Because these ideas exist on a system of reward and punishment, if you're not being rewarded, well, what's the alternative? I know a couple who had a very viable business, 2006, 2007. I mean, they were making more money than they knew what to do with. And, they consulted a psychic in the midst of this good fortune, and the psychic was very much into, give and you'll get. And these people gave quite generously, not just to the psychic, but to other people. But the psychic didn't see the change in the market coming. And when that change came, these people's business dried up. They still believed in this, they just figured, well, let's give more. And this idea really, really harmed them. I think it's worthwhile to recognize that people with questionable beliefs exist at every social strata. Is God rewarding corporate executives who are polluting the planet? If God is the source of reward, then apparently he likes the planet being polluted. So there's lots of absurdities in these ideas. I think anyone who will profess some law of abundance can test their thesis. What you do is come to India, find 100 beggars who've been crippled as children and sent into the street to beg. I mean, some of these people they're so misshapen they couldn't use a wheelchair if they had one. Teach your law of abundance to 100 of these people, and we'll come back in 5 years, and
they'll still be beggars.
Well, I would say we'll take every one that's a millionaire and we'll use that as an argument on their side. And every one that's still a beggar becomes an argument against them. Now that's fair. So I think we want to be really careful when we're giving to get. And my grandfather went through the Great Depression and he ended up dying very rich. But he is in no way the kind of man I would recommend other people imitate. So what's the kind of life that you want to live? And to move towards that, to give if you feel to give, to contribute to life. And if good fortune comes your way, great. But to connect those two, well, that's a leap of faith that I think we have lots of room to question.
Very true. I completely agree with you, Todd. Do you like our videos? Like us on YouTube and Facebook. For more information, log on to www.Vivriti.Org. Thank you so much for watching.